Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down how to build truly intelligent AI agents. Systems that can actually think and act for themselves. We're going to be diving deep into the brilliant concepts from AntonioGulli's work on Agentic AI. Basically, giving you the architect's blueprint for what separates a simple little chatbot from a genuinely autonomous system.
So let's start with a really simple question to get us thinking. The AI you interact with every single day, is it just a chatbot? Or is it something more? Because honestly, understanding that difference is everything if you want to get where this is all going.
It really just boils down to initiative. A chatbot is reactive. It kind of just sits there, right? Waiting for you to give it a command. An agent, on the other hand, is proactive. You give it a big, ambitious goal, and it goes to work, on its own, to figure out how to get it done. Now, the secret sauce for building these things isn't some giant, scary block of code. It's actually a set of powerful, reusable blueprints, what we call agentic design patterns.
So what's the magic that gives an agent that autonomy? Well, it all comes down to its engine. This fundamental cycle that turns it from a passive little tool into an active problem solver.
Okay, at the very heart of this engine is this brilliant framework called React, and the name tells you pretty much everything you need to know. Reason and act. It's this simple but incredibly powerful loop where the agent thinks about what to do, then it does it, and, this is the most important part, it learns from what happened.
Think of this loop as the agent's heartbeat. First, it reasons. Okay, what's my next move to get closer to the goal? Then it acts. It actually uses a tool to do something. And finally, it observes the result. Did that work? What happened? And that observation feeds right back into its next thought. It's a constant cycle of learning and adapting. Now that core engine is just the start. Let's open up the architect's toolkit.
Right, so building a really sophisticated agent isn't like writing one massive piece of code. No way. It's much more like being an architect. You don't build with one giant block of concrete. You assemble a whole toolkit of specialized components. For us, those are design patterns.
First pattern in the kit is planning. And this one's huge. This is the agent's strategic mind. It's what lets it take a really big, messy goal, something like organize the team offsite, and break it down into a clear, logical, step-by-step plan. It figures out the how all by itself.
And you can immediately see how this is a total game changer for any task that has more than one step. We're talking about automating an entire research report, not just doing one search, or coordinating a complex workflow, maybe even onboarding a new employee from start to finish. Without a plan, you've just got chaos.
Okay, so you have a plan. Great. Now what? You've got to actually do stuff in the real world. That is where tool use comes in. This pattern basically breaks the agent out of its digital box. It's the bridge that connects its brain to the real world, letting it call APIs, query databases, or even execute code.
This means an agent with tools is no longer stuck with whatever it was trained on months ago. It can get today's weather right now. It can query your company's actual live database. It can search the web for what happened 5 minutes ago. This is what makes it practically useful, not just an academic exercise.
But wait. How do we make sure the agent's work is actually, good? We need quality control. And that is exactly what the reflection pattern is for. I love this one. It's basically a built-in process for self-correction. You often see it as a producer-critic setup. One agent produces the work, and another agent acts as a critic, looking over its shoulder and saying, hey, that could be better. And this back and forth, this loop of generating something, evaluating it, and then refining it is incredibly powerful. It's how you get really high-quality, reliable results. We're talking about an agent that can iteratively write and debug its own code, or endlessly refine a summary until it's perfectly accurate. It's a self-improvement machine.
And finally, just like in our world, the biggest, hardest problems, they require a team. The multi-agent collaboration pattern is all about this. You stop trying to build one super genius agent that can do everything. Instead, you build a cooperative team of specialists, where each agent has a specific job.
This creates a super effective division of labor. You could have a generalist customer support agent that escalates a really tricky problem to a technical expert agent. Or for software development, you could have one agent that's a researcher, another that's a coder, and a third that's a tester. This is how you tackle problems that are just way too big and complex for any single agent to handle.
Okay, so we've got our patterns, planning, tool use, reflection, and collaboration. So how do they all snap together in the real world? Let's build the blueprint for an autonomous AI research assistant, right here, right now.
So it all starts with the user's goal. And notice, this is a big, meaty request. This isn't something you can just Google and get a quick answer to. It's a complex research task. This is the perfect job for our new agentic system.
So first things first, a planner agent immediately gets to work. It uses the planning pattern to break down that big request into a structured, multi-step research plan. It creates the whole roadmap before anyone even starts working. Now, with that plan in hand, the team is unleashed. This is multi-agent collaboration in action. A whole crew of researcher agents goes to work, all at the same time. And using their tool usability, they all start hitting the web, pulling in data way faster than any human ever could. Once all that raw data is pulled together into a first draft, a critic agent steps in. Its one and only job is to use the reflection pattern to review that draft, checking for errors, looking for gaps, and suggesting improvements before anything gets finalized.
And there you have it, the final high-quality report. See? That's the magic right there. It's the composition of these patterns. By weaving them all together, planning, collaboration, tool use, and reflection, the system goes from being a bunch of separate tools to being a single, powerful, autonomous researcher that delivers an amazing result.
Now, let's just zoom out for a second, because this ability to build and compose agents, it's not just some technical curiosity. It really points to a fundamental shift in how our economy and our technology is going to work.
We are absolutely heading toward what people are calling an agent-driven economy. I mean, just try to imagine it. Autonomous systems running entire businesses, managing global supply chains, creating real economic value at a speed and a scale that is just far beyond direct human management.
Because at the end of the day, this technology is a massive force multiplier for human goals. So the real question isn't just about what these agents can do. The much more interesting question is, what are we going to direct them to do? So I'll leave you with this. What big, important goals will you give your agents?